Hey, this is Matt once again. We're back to another video, and this is a paid request for Sean. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested, requesting any type of videos, review, re-review, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour or full playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And this is for Casablanca. Funny enough, in all my years, I have never seen Casablanca, which came out in 1942. Now, of course, I've heard about it. I've seen clips. I know about the scenes that have become iconic. You know, the lines, the delivery, the music. A kiss is but a kiss. Here's look at you, kid. And all the gin joints and all the towns you had to walk into mine. Like, a lot of stuff that just has become part of the pop culture ethos. But I never really sat down and watched it. And overall, despite the fact I think from the middle to the end it gets a bit slow, I liked it overall. I did like the film. I liked the actors. I liked Humphrey Bogart. I know some people view him as not much of an actor, but I think he had that movie star quality. He had that voice, that look. That's all, honestly, what he needed. That's all he needed, and it made him memorable. It made him stand out. It made him with that voice, that cadence. And now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a lot of his films all the way through, like the Maltese Falcon and like Treasure Sierra Madre. I don't like the ending of that one. I get the gist of it, but not a bad film though. Just not big on the ending, but not a bad film. But yeah, the like Maltese Falcon, I don't think I ever saw some of this other stuff. But I just, through the various years and clips and people mentioning him, just liked his cadence. I liked his, just that movie star look. That you hear his voice, you know who he is. And again, sometimes that's all you need. If you have that ability or if you have that lucky opportunity, use it. Go for it. And I liked him in the film. Ingrid Bergman is beautiful as Ilsa. Very beautiful lady. Claude Rains, I thought, stole the show. I remember Claude Rains from The Invisible Man, which I quite liked that film. He was in The Wolf Man, among other stuff. He plays this corrupt cop, but he's also friends with Humphrey Bogart's character. And his dialogue and the way he talks with Bogart and some of his lines, I thought were rather funny, rather witty. And he was my favorite part of the movie, was him. I loved him in it. Peter Lorre, I didn't even realize Peter Lorre was in this. And he's a guy that, speaks of distinct voices, if you follow movies, movie history, once you hear his voice, you know who he is. So he's not in it a whole lot, but it was cool to see him in this still. And like the film, it doesn't have like a big scope because it mostly takes place in this nightclub, and you have a few shots outside the club, and you had a few bits where there's a flashback where two characters are supposed to be in Paris. But it doesn't have like a big glorious scope, like maybe compared to other films at this time. It takes place in Morocco, where there's a lot of refugees and others kind of stuck there. This is during the war with the Germans and all that jazz. Humphrey Bogart, he's a guy that he doesn't really have any place to live, so he lives and stays there, and he owns his nightclub. It's never explained why he left America, but obviously it was something pretty, I would guess, more than likely some kind of killing. But I don't think they ever really delve into it. And you tell there's some dialogue that he misses. Like, I wonder what time is it there. But everybody there is sleeping. while I'm up here, staying awake, drinking the night away. And pretty much just living his life at this nightclub, running a business, one of the few businesses to still keep running because he doesn't pick a side. He's very, very neutral. In the past, he was more for the good side, but nowadays he's just very neutral. And that's why his business is allowed to stay open and all this other stuff happening, where sometimes German officers go there, sometimes Italians, other people. And like I said, he's pretty close friends with the captain of the cops, played by Claude Rains. One day, Peter Lorre comes in and says, "Hey, I got these letters and want you to hold them for me for a little bit. Letters of transit. These are letters that if your name's on them, you could give them to anybody and they can't say anything about it. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. They can't question it. It's a free pass to go wherever you want." And Peter Lorre's trying to sell it, but he needs to set some things up. Just look at him for an hour or two, and Bogart begrudgingly does. After a bit, come to find out that those letters were from some people that were killed. That maybe more than likely Peter Lorre did, unless he found them or whatever. But anyway, the Germans come in, they capture Peter Lorre, they want those letters. Meanwhile, I don't know how you describe him. A guy, like I don't want to say nationalist, but a guy who has a bit of pull. People listen to him. I think they say he dealt with newspapers and stuff. Him and this girl Ilsa come in, and they're trying to find a way to get to America. And so it's kind of this kind of back and forth where the Germans are looking for the letters, and these two are looking for the letters, and Humphrey Bogart sees Ilsa, and she's the woman that he had been in love with. And there's a big flashback scene where they were in Paris, and he was supposed to be on a train for her, but she never showed up. And so you have a little bit of that anger, a little bit of that heartbreak, as it seems like they may get back together until finally Humphrey Bogart does the right thing by the end of it. What makes the film work is, while the plot in general may seem a bit boring, looking for letters, yeah, get the fuck out to America, whatever, it's the actors and the moments that make it work. I forget what the phrase was, but someone said that to make a great movie is to have like a number of great moments. And there are moments that, just because of their cadence, the way they're delivered, they become part of the pop culture lexicon. So, number one, I think before I get to that, the dialogue is actually pretty well written in this at times. Like they're talking about, like Humphrey Bogart's talking to someone about parasite. He's like, I don't object to someone being a parasite. I just object to a cut-rate one. Or so this lady's trying to talk to Humphrey Bogart, and she's like, "Well, can I see you tonight?" "I don't know. I don't make plans that far ahead." Damn, I wrote the damn thing. Or like the Captain Claude Rains talk about how they're friends with each other, and how, you're so neutral. And then Humphrey Bogart goes, "Oh, I thought we were friends because I let you win at roulette." "Yeah, well, that's another reason." "What's your nationality?" "I'm a drunkard." So it's stuff like that I thought was pretty funny. And under your cynical shell, you're at the heart of a sentimentalist. Hey, I stick my neck out for nobody. It's just the way it's delivered. And say Humphrey Bogart with that tone and that voice. Claude Rains, he always has this kind of humor to his dialogue. Definitely their conversations are some of my favorites throughout the film. The music by, I want to get his name, Dooley Wilson as Sam. And how many times have you heard someone play it again, Sam? It's from this. It just, stuff that just got purported throughout the years, and just now you've heard it referenced so many times that it just comes into play, the history of it, when you watch something like this. And that song, but da 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 da, a kiss about a kiss. It works. It works for the film. It works for what needs to be done. You know, the flashback establishes how much these two were in love with each other, and that's why Bogart is such in dour straits and a dourness as to, this girl left his ass. And you kind of find out that she was already married and she thought her husband was gone, but then she found her husband was alive, so she went to help him out. But then it seems like Ilsa, no matter what, is still deeply in love with Humphrey Bogart's character. So Bogart kind of plays the strings, so to speak, to get these people in position until finally lets her go. And she's like, what? It's like, listen, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day you're going to be tired of me, this ain't going to work out, and you're going to regret not being on that plane. And I do think Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman do have a good chemistry with each other. And because they have such good chemistry, that's why the ending works. And then Bogart has a good way with words. I think the script helps in that matter. Okay, I'm looking at my notes. This is what people wonder why I take notes, because there's certain lines and stuff that I don't want to forget. Like this one is when he's trying to help get the people out, he's got to put a gun on his buddy. He's like, listen, I got a gun at your heart. And Claude Rains goes, that's not my least vulnerable start. I mean, what did I say? That's not my least vulnerable spot. He said a lot better than I mean, just the way he said it that made me laugh. Now, granted, when it got kind of halfway through, up until the ending, it's just kind of, if you go into this expecting action, you're not getting it. It's not that kind of movie. If you're expecting escapism, fisticuffs, car chases, which there were films that did that in the 40s and etc., you're not getting that. I would like to have seen that. I would like to have seen Humphrey Bogart punch a few people in the face and maybe a car chase or two. Me personally, for what I like in movies, I would like to have seen that kind of stuff added into it to make the proceedings just a little bit more exciting, a little bit more thrilling. Maybe a little bit more with film noir, with lighting and atmosphere, with some of the setting. But I think with the cast involved, the writing being pretty solid, especially with the dialogue, the music definitely memorable if you know your film history, and it gives you those kind of bells ringing in your head. I thought the ending had some nice little emotion to it. Spoilers for a film from 1940s. The guy who's kind of the antagonist, Humphrey Bogart, has the gun. Don't do it. The guy tries to. He shoots the guy. Claude Rains sticks up for him and goes, oh, we gotta get the usual suspects. Before that, told the girl to go with that line, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday you don't regret it. Oh, we'll always have Paris. I mean, it's funny when for someone like me who watches this, and again, these lines and references, I've seen in so many either movies that reference it, movies that try to rip it off, movies that were based on it, parodies. It's just interesting to see the source all the way through. And then another movie on the checklist to finally get off the watch list, finally watch it and see. Even the ending of the film, which I enjoy, where after the plane goes by, it's Claude Rains and Humphrey Bogart, and you get the idea Bogart's going to go on a train, and, well, I got some money to help with our expenses. Our expenses? You're not that you're doing by yourself, are you? Louis, this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And I remember even films like Dead Heat with Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo referencing that at the end. You know, this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship as they go off into the fog, which is a reference to this. So I mean, there's countless movies throughout the years that, if you're someone like me that's watched a lot of stuff, it's nice to see the origin of where those references come from. And again, while for me and my taste in movies, I wish there was a bit more action, intrigue, espionage, you know, that stuff going on, especially in the second half, to really get the adrenaline pumping. It's not that kind of movie. Again, I liked, for the most part, the characters. Humphrey Bogart has the presence and the star power and the suaveness to him. Ingrid Bergman, very beautiful. Like I said, Claude Rains, I thought was rather funny, likable. The old style of filmmaking, definitely a nice window to the past of how they did things compared to nowadays. And maybe because so many new films, I get sick of the way they look and sick of the way they're shot. That's just so digital and fake as fuck. That's not, you know, go back and watch this, and you just see much more of that. I don't know what you call it. Just film, goddammit, film. There's just something there. I don't know how else to put it. It was nice to watch this and finally see this from beginning to end. So, I'm not going to go into the whole history of Casablanca, because there's various documentaries and stuff that have done that do a lot better than me. All I'm going to say is, I liked it. I liked the film. So with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.